Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Attila Total War. And we've played quite a bit since our last convening. Well, it feels like a long time. It's only been actually like 6 turns, but 6 turns is apparently a lot in Attila Total War standards. So let's recap what's happened. Main thing is I decided to make the move and I abandoned Britain. I burned all the settlements and took all those money and troops and brought them back across the English Channel. So now England's pretty much a desolate wasteland. The Britons were able to seize Iberacum before I could burn it down, as well as the Picts were able to seize Wales before I could burn it down. But other than that, I got all those men and materials out of there, and now I'm starting to make some decent money. I've got about, between 3,000 and 5,000 coming in per turn, so I've been using that to invest in my military and other buildings that need to happen, mainly trying to increase public order. But I thought that would be enough for these assholes here in Britain, that I would abandon the continent. But nope, they decided they were going to bring the entirety of their armies all across the channel, all at the same time. And there's about 6 stacks roaming around in France. I've managed to whittle them down through a series of garrison battles and pitched battles. There's only 2 left. There's these guys, and then there's another picked army sailing around France. But unfortunately, during the course of that fighting, I've lost all the legions that were stationed in France. They were overwhelmed. They won, 3 or 4 battles, but once the 5th battle came around, there just was too many men, and they weren't able to do it. So I'm in the process of rebuilding my armies here. I lost some of my frontier territories to rebels and Frankish raids, which is unfortunate, but, it happens. I'll start. And some of the interior or frontier territories are in disarray. But little did I know also when I began the process of desolating my lands that I would undergo a huge public order penalty. So I've been dealing with rebellions all over the place. I've been dealing with rebellions, and even in Italy itself, I've had some rebellions come my way. But thankfully, we've managed to crush them all. I'm on the verge of pretty much stabilizing Africa. This tribe down here decided it was going to declare war on me. So what they did is they took all their armies and marched them out, and they marched them in the middle of here. So I was like, okay. So I took this legion and attacked their defenseless city and subjugated them. I'm like, okay, now I've got some people on my side. They're going to help me out. And the next turn, they decided they didn't want anything of that, and they rebelled. So they still didn't bring their troops back to defend, so I just marched this legion back in here and decided it's time to burn it to the ground. Actually, I'm going to get rid of these guys. Yes. Maybe we'll start thinking about rebuilding this legion, because it's been hammered too. But anyway, so I burned them to the ground, and then they decided they were going to go do some raiding. They raided here and over here, but I've defeated them to two units, so they're pretty much done. These guys who I was allied with decided that they were going to become my puppet state, which is nice. Dealing with rebellions in Spain. Well, there's going to be another rebellion here. This Spanish Legion has become quite powerful during the course of fighting. They've gained a lot of experience, so that's good. I'm trying to get them over here, but I don't know if they're going to make it in time. So this might be a tough battle. Yeah, they don't have very much to defend. I may lose that territory. But the good news, here's the good news, that pretty much all of Illyria has been stabilized. I fought back all the attacks on my frontiers, although these guys still continue to come in every so often. The Ostrogoths and the Visigoths have been ground down into nothing. Here are the Visigoths. They have 2 territories left, and the Ostrogoths are over here. What I'm going to do is they keep running away from me. I've been having my legions, you know, running around. Looks like something from a Benny Hill movie. Trying to track these guys down. But now I've hopefully trapped him in a mountain pass here. So we're going to deal with the Ostrogoths next turn. And the Visigoths, I'll get to them when I have the chance. I don't want to let them linger and become another threat. But I want to... I mean, there are more pressing matters. So, after I get rid of these two hordes, go back to the frontier, stabilize it, and I want to take out the Quadians. I think these guys are. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, lots happening. Yeah. So, yeah. Having this legion come up. He's going to become a new French legion once he gets out of Italy. And then I'm also going to start repairing some of the damaged buildings once I get the opportunity. So yeah, but before we actually end this turn, I want to take some time. I did save some replays from some particularly epic battles that I'd like to go over with you guys. Also, I want to disclose something before we do that. I was playing, just advancing the campaign on Steam, and I was hanging out online, and some people on my Steam friends list asked to watch, because you can broadcast on Steam. I don't know if you can actually see this on the top of the screen. There's like a live thing. I don't know how to make it go away now that I've brought it in. But anyway, so they asked to watch the game, so they watched me do some battles. Unfortunately, it was tough because doing that just completely crushes my processor and just drags it down. But that was fun to engage with everybody and watch that. And they actually watched me. There's a battle against the Ostrogoths here. Is the Ostrogoths? Yeah, I think it's the Ostrogoths. So there's a battle against the Ostrogoths here, and I played it and I lost it. And I told everybody, I'm like, okay, I know it's embarrassing, but I'm going to replay the battle because defeating them is more important to me for the strategic objectives of the campaign than undergoing the humiliation of admitting that I replayed the battle and didn't just roll with it. So, thought I'd like to disclose that. But other than that, let's move over to some of these replays. So this is a siege battle against the Ostrogoths for a settlement. I can't remember which settlement it is. This was not the one I already did, by the way. But this battle was the one that really marked the end of the Ostrogothic... what the fuck? Oh, I thought this was actually a replay. Apparently this is like literally playing the battle again. Okay, that's weird. Alright, now it's doing the actual replay. So yeah, this was the battle that really sealed the defeat of the Ostrogoths. That really ended their reign of terror in Rome. So what I did, I figured this out pretty quickly, is that on these settlements that have a bridge, I shouldn't even bother trying to defend the plaza. I moved all my troops across the bridge. Yes, we're heavily outnumbered. That's sad. That was weird, though. I don't know why now it's doing an actual replay. So anyway, I figured that there's no point defending this place. If they take the capture point, that's okay. You know, life will go on. Here the bastards come.
The enemy has been sighted.
So what I originally planned to do was just hold them back here as long as I could and fight them off. And just hope to do as many casualties as I possibly could. So obviously they spotted me. They're my defensive testudo guys. Look at how happy they are. And their spears are gonna... There they go.
Our general is being attacked. Keep him alive.
These guys are dancing, as you can see. Okay, now they finally decided to settle down. So in they come. You know, I'm actually not playing at the same time. We can watch some of these battle animations a little bit closer. They got some Hunnic archers, steppe cavalry. Always looks like they're like waving their spears like they're magic wands or something. They're not really stabbing with them. So I think I must have reformed them here or something. So they're just trying to use their cavalry to break through. Wow, this took a long time. It's a long battle. But it's important. I wish I would have been recording while I did it, but it's a epic battle. So my Romans steadfastly hold the bridge against their onslaughts, and now they're bringing in the Germanic levies. So, knowing that the spearmen aren't that good against other spearmen, the swordsmen are much better. I'll let the cohors handle this. And move the spearmen back. Figuring I'd done as much damage as I needed to the cavalry, that the cohorts could handle it. They're back there for support. So I was trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with these guys, and I figured they'd just be here for support once the front line started to waver. And it looks like the testudo has fallen apart. They're bringing their warbands. Their warbands are really freaking powerful. They can do a lot of damage. So anyway, they're all just charging the bridge, doing exactly what I wanted them to do, and hoping that my men can do a ton of damage to them while they try and cross this bridge. Something like a 300-esque battle. But then I realized something, that on the sides here, I thought there was no way to cross, but there's actually some river crossings here. So I guess I didn't figure that out yet. But eventually, spoiler alert, that's what I figure out. Because I was like looking at this, I'm like, wow, wouldn't it be great if I could get my cavalry in behind there and really take it to these guys. I love the detail. Like, look at that. Look at this little just random merchant ship here hanging out. This poor guy just got stuck out in the middle of the melee. So there we go. Now I figured this out. So this cavalry is going to go on an epic journey all the way across. Because I thought, hey, they don't actually have that many melee troops. You know, they've got lots of war bands and stuff, but a lot of these guys are missiles. So I could just get in there and attack from behind. There'd be a cascading effect, and the missile troops wouldn't stand a chance against the cavalry, because the cavalry is really, really powerful, especially once they get in close quarters against missile troops in this game. Like, I think they're more powerful than they've ever been. Even light cavalry can really just mess them up. Like, they can destroy entire regiments, and they won't even be able to kill a unit of cavalry, like one guy in the regiment. So unfortunately my cohorts are slowly being ground down. They're still fresh somehow though. Everyone else is exhausted, but these guys, maybe they're switching lines. I can't tell if they are. I think they might be. Like one of the aspects of the Roman army that they were the first to really pioneer. Here come the explorates to assist. But one of the aspects they were really first to pioneer was they would switch lines of units during battle. So during battle, they'd have the front guys, they'd meet with the enemy, and then on cue, they would signal, and the guys who are currently engaged in combat with the enemy would fall back, and the next line of troops would fight. So with that, you're always fighting against fresh troops, and no other army really figured this out until that point. So it was one of the things that made the legions seem like these unstoppable killing machines that never got tired, is because they were always rotating their troops, and by the time you were back at the front line again, usually the battle would probably be over, but then again, you'd be rested and ready to go, whereas your enemy would still, all their front troops would be exhausted. I finally got rid of these guys, these goddamn Gothic war bands. So anyway, the cavalry has made it, and I'm just having them rest here because they were exhausted by this point. There we go. So now, finally, the pincer movement can complete itself. So they finally managed to box these guys in, and then they start slaughtering these missile troops. And so you got routing guys trying to escape. They're trying to get out. The archers don't know who to shoot at. They don't know what to do. But at this point I'm getting a little worried because my cohorts are starting to fall apart. The front line is starting to fall apart.
Flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
So I didn't know if I was going to be able to hold the line long enough for the cavalry to do their job. So I'm moving them out, I'm trying to regroup them and refresh them. And then they come in from another charge.
Run from the enemy. This is shameful.
Explorates. God damn cat. Oh no, that's the cohorts. Explorates are still fighting. Anyway, it's just an absolute slaughterhouse. It's just a complete massacre. I think by the end of the battle, I don't know if it'll say, but these guys killed like almost 1,000 people. They haven't lost a single guy. Like I said, they can just devastate, completely devastate all these missile units and not lose anybody. So this part, yeah, like I said, I'm getting really worried. Melee troops might be able to break through. They still have like a random unit of skirmishers somewhat for some reason.
Are losing faith. The men are broken and are fleeing.
Yeah, they are just chopping away. I guess it kind of makes sense. Like these guys, at least the archers, looks like all that they have are little daggers. They don't even have shields. Oh, they finally lost some men. But yeah, like I said, over here things are looking really grim.
Men are running. Stand and fight, damn you!
So it's just a race to who can get there first. Yeah, I guess these guys try and capture this tower. Can't remember if they do it or not.
The men have thrown down their
But at this point, I thought it's like it's all over. You know, they broke through. It's completely over. So I decided, well, I'll move these guys back, and they can fight them in terrain that has a little bit more mobility. Rest them up here by this this little who's it. The watchtowers, which are also really powerful. Like they can do a lot of damage if left unchecked. I don't figure out what the hell they were doing. Sometimes the AI. Oh yeah,
barricade. The enemy is attacking the barricade.
they're going for the capture point. This was an obvious move to gobble up these guys. I'm playing it through on fast because, well, there's a lot of time where it's just trying to grind down the enemy. And that's been like a lot of the problem I feel like with this Let's Play is that a lot of it has been like really tedious battles of just like me putting my guys in one spot and holding the line. At this point, yeah, I realize I got to get rid of these guys or their arrows are going to do too much damage to my cavalry. Thankfully, I'm able to break them before the Gothic warbands can come in and do some damage. Even though apparently they can still do some damage. They got spears they can throw. And I don't know what the hell I was doing. Just letting my guy stand here for no reason. And they just wouldn't break. They had 8 guys left and they just wouldn't break. And then for some reason they finally decided, okay, we're going to run away. So now I figure, okay, it's time for the last stand. I'm going to have them stand by this guard tower so it can help me pick off a few more enemies before the battle's over. This time, you know, they started off 3 times my number. They were ground down to a nub. Final pitch battle's about to start. Gothic warband's running in. But then something amazing happened. And they broke. Then they came back. And then I also did something even more amazing, is which they did not attack my cavalry. They just sat there and tried to take this tower. And it manages to completely rout one unit. I'm thinking, oh my god, if it kills a general, not all is not lost. Like, I wonder if I can pick out their general. I don't really. Maybe that's. Like listening to them talking about honor when they're just sitting here getting pelted by fire arrows. Oh, that poor bastard. And they tried to tear it down. I guess the general's still alive. I just don't know which one he is.
Their general is dead.
And then they break.
Lethal blow.
Okay. Oh my god, I could not believe that that happened. That they broke too. And somehow,
Victory will soon be yours.
against all odds, I managed to pull this one out. But of course, I bring in the cavalry. You know, not figuratively, for real. Cavalry comes in, and I wipe out what's left of the units. So that was that. That's that battle. And that, I think, was probably the battle in which I was able to have the most units get killed by the least amount of men, and I was actually able to win that garrison battle. I think it's the first and maybe only one thus far I've won where I've been so badly outnumbered like that. So that pretty much put an end to the Ostrogoths. They didn't really have any armies that could stand against me after that. So let's move on to the next battle. So I realized when I reloaded this battle that there's two options. You can fight the battle or you can watch it. Anyway, I didn't know you could fight the battle. That's a cool new feature.
The enemy has been sighted.
In any case, so this battle is against the there was two Celtic tribes. I can't remember which ones. That had invaded France, and this is 2 stacks of their army versus 1 legion that, you know, was fully manned, but obviously didn't have the same amount of manpower that our enemies did, and then another legion which is coming in here that had been severely battered after several battles with our Celtic enemies. And then I think there was the town garrison, which also had almost nothing in it. I don't even think I unloaded these guys the entire game. There's only 9 men in here. Fortunately, though, the battlefield terrain was in my favor, and they gave me this great hill with which I could defeat one enemy and then take on the next. Also, these guys were in forced marching position, which I noticed if they reinforce you in battles, legions and armies that are in forced marching position, they are perpetually on very tired energy mode, which means they become exhausted very easily. And I'm not sure if that was in Rome too, but that's kind of interesting feature. So it dissuades you at least a little bit from trying to rush in those reinforcements, because they're going to be less